Oh shit. Hello. I didn't know it'd go live right away. Just a second. Am I live? I guess I am. Jesus Christ. I'll need to title this Sigmar Tournament. God fucking damn it. Sigmar Tournament Rundown and Recap. Shit. I need a rat for the what's it called? Thumbnail. I'll just do this guy. Save. Alright. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. How am I sounding? Sounding okay? How do I... Is this good? Good now? Okay. Let's listen to myself real quick. I'm sorry about that. Is this good? Okay. Sounds okay. Wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to do a little rundown. I did a tournament today. Just got home. I'm gonna hit up new recruit, show you what I brought. I brought this. Feel no shame, that's the name of the event. I brought this list. Skaven, 1970, 30 points under, that's fine. Warpcock Convocation, so it's Scryer. Means I get to pick 3 Scryer units, and just a second. Roll a dice. On a 1, they take damage, and they get no buff. On a 2 to 5, they get a +1 to their wound roll in shooting. And on a 6, they get the +1 to wound, and they get an extra rend. So, most of the time, you're just getting +1 to wound. Sometimes you explode, other times you go fucking, like, Super Saiyan rat mode. And you just murder, you kill God. So that's very fun to do, because I brought a lot of guns. So I brought a Deceiver, big ninja rat, 20 clan rats, just scum of the earth, point grabbers. Thankful on Bone Ripper, a big-ass Frankenstein wizard. Well, a wizard rat riding a big Frankenstein monster, 4-armed war machine rat. And with him I brought so many guns. 6 rattling guns. They're the new hotness. They're so fucking... They're insane. You get 3d6 shots per gun, and you have 6 of them, so that's 18d6. We'll get back to how fucking absurd that was later. And then I brought 6 Gisales, 6 Gisales, and 3 Gisales. For a total of 15 big sniper guns. I think I have a picture of the army. This is some event pictures. This is the whole army I brought. So over here, this is Thankful, little rat riding a big rat. We have the Deceiver, big ninja boy here with a throwing star and a dagger. Over here we have 6 Gisales, 6 Gisales, 3 Gisales, 3 rattling guns, 3 more rattling guns, and 20 clan rats. My endless spells are the Warp Lightning Vortex. I never used that. Vermintide, which I summoned once. It never really got to do much. And the Bell of Doom, which is the MVP. This is why you bring the Skaven manifestations. This thing gives a 13-inch bubble of -1 to wound for infantry, which all of this is except for the 2 big leader units. Big boy also has the Foulhide artifact, which lets him heal for D3. He heals D3 at the end of all turns, like mine and my opponents. Thankful just does that on his own. He also has a trait called Scurry Away. So if his party trick, which is an in-combat teleport, if that fails on a 3-up, he just gets to run away anyway. Makes him extremely hard to pin down unless you have a lot of shooting. Okay, so I'll get to my games. I prepared this. I saw on Tabletop Titans, brother Adrian did a tournament rundown, and he used this. I asked him what he used, and he said he used something called Figma, which is like an online design tool. It lets you make these little circles here with an image in it, and you can stretch it and edit it and do all kinds of weird things. And it's just really like nifty for illustrating what you do. Alright, first mission I got, we were all playing the same missions. This one was Star Strike. Star Strike I had never played before. It's very different from the others in that objective, as you will note, other maps have objectives on them. This one and this one. This one doesn't. That's because they're randomly generated. The active player, whoever is the first to go in turn 1 and 3, rolls 2d6, and depending on the result, you place a marker there. First turn, he rolled a 7, which is smack dab in the middle. So the first... Let me see if I can do this. First objective was right here, which was great for him. Oh, I should also note, there were 2 other Skaven players at this event, and I played both of them. And they brought identical lists. They brought... Let me just see if I can find... I took a screenshot. And posted in the Tabletop Titans here it is. I posted it in the Tabletop Titans Discord and I asked if this was like the new hotness, and apparently I'm not the only one who's had this thought. 2 people at this thing brought the exact same thing. So Thankful and Bone Ripper, like me. Rattling Guns, like me. That's one regiment. Deceiver, like me. Clan Rats, like me. But this is where the similarities end. He also had Night Runners, which are like ninja rats. They get to move before the game starts. Arch Warlock for the free covering fire and an extra spell cast. I think he's too expensive at 170, but that's what it is. More Clan Rats and another unit of Rattling Guns. So this list has Big Beatstick, Verminlord Deceiver, who is just incredibly good. Everybody takes him. And with the same upgrades too. Like, I did that, they did that. He's so fucking good. So he's this big distraction thing. Like, you want to run him in, kill a weak, like, either run him into something tough and teleport away, kill something weak, or just run him into something weak and kill it. He's just this big thing that the opponent cannot ignore. Clan Rats for easy scoring, Night Runners for easy scoring. They're cheap, they are fast, they die to a stiff breeze, but that's fine. And 2 Rattling Guns. The Rattling Guns are the anvil. No, they're the hammer units. Thankful and Verminlord are the anvils. Rattlings are the hammers. They shoot so fucking many shots. It's insane. And if you keep them next to Clan Rats, they can't be targeted by shooting units that are further away than 12. Which makes them tricky. So, first guy I'm fighting, this list. And as you can see here, I think this is the first game. I deployed my Clan Rats here. He did his here. Night Runners there. Rattling Guns. I put Giselles here and here. 3 over there. My Deceiver here. His is there after a teleport. He also put some more Rattling Guns over here. And some more Clan Rats. So what happens is that, okay, so I had like a hole there, and I think I put one here-ish. Right? He put his deceiver. Started, doesn't matter where it started. It teleported over here. I'll need to reference this. Yeah. So, I think I have one more over here. Then I had my Gisales. Yep. Clan rats. More Gisales. Kinda. Well, the terrain isn't like a 1-to-1, right? So, there-ish. My deceiver over here. Ended up making a bell here, I think. And then I kept these guys underground for now. Thankful. Where did I put Thankful? He's right there. Okay. So he's like here. So what you can do with terrain, faction terrain specifically, is that it counts as an enemy for fighting it. Like you can kill it and attack it, but it does not block teleports and stuff like that. So he teleported within 3 of this, rolled an 11-inch charge, moved over here, and because he was still in combat, he was able to do a 4-up teleport and land right here. Which made me shit myself. Because then he killed 4 of this unit and 3 of this. Which freed this unit up to be a little further away and not in combat next turn. I then summoned in my rattling guns here. Blasted his deceiver. It was gone right away. It just died, right? I even moved Thankful over here, ready to charge. So his deceiver just died. Then what happens is that he has... Man, this is going to be tough to keep track of because it's just all Skaven all the time. He had no Gisales, but he had his rattling guns there and some over here. He had a hole over here. And I want to say, yeah, one in the back. Like, we pretty much just mirrored each other for this entire thing. And his Thankful is back there. And he had some clan rats and some night runners. We'll just do the same, but a bit smaller. Yeah, rattlings, Thankful, night runners, clan rats. More clan rats over here. So his deceiver went over here and got nuked. Because these guys appeared, and these guys were free to shoot. Which freed these guys up to shoot a bit, which took down his clan rats a little bit. Let's just say it like that. Then... Am I missing anything? No, I don't think I am. Then what happened? Then what happened over the events of this game is that he moved all... Whoops. I should lock that. How do I lock this? There we go. He moved his guys in here to seize the center and grab the only objective. He scored 10 points. I did not take it from him. I moved in here. Yeah, these guys moved in here, I think. So my turn 1, I did not take this from him, and I did not get my battle tactic, so I got a fat 0. I then... I want to say I double turned him. Let me just check the record. Games. Here. Yep. I then, because I gave him first turn, which let him... Probably what cost me the game, but... Man, how was I supposed to know? Turns out if you let the shooting army go first, then they shoot you. Who'da thought? So yeah, because I went second, I won the priority roll, and I was able to take a double turn. That means I don't get a battle tactic, but it also means that I get to do some shit. So in my turn 1, I had also moved my guy over here. He was then in combat with these guys, took them down a bit. They kept falling back. He charged in with these. I teleported over here. I think he moved his he moved Thankful over here. These guys, I believe, moved forward a bit. I rallied these guys so that they had a lot left. I would eventually... I feel like these guys walked over here. Thankful ended up... what did Thankful do? I think he started... I think maybe he teleported. But where? Was he alive at the end? I don't remember. I think he was. Yeah, sure. He probably went up here. I would imagine that these guys got... I think I ended up making a third gnaw hole over... I think he made one here, and I made one, like, up here. And these guys got healed up and moved up. These guys probably teleported over here, as did probably these guys. Maybe they just moved. Maybe they just moved up here. And then these guys shot the shit out of these clan rats. The Night Runners just fucking died, because they're made of paper. They died to Jezzails. My clan rats go in the middle and take it. His guys are gone. Eventually, things transpire over the next couple rounds, causing my Deceiver to, like, get unstuck in combat and get back in combat, and eventually the Deceiver just dies. Thankful kills the Deceiver. Thankful just ends up in the middle with my clan rats, where they just tango for the next 2 rounds. I do slowly kill his rattling guns. Mine die super early on. I think I bring them back. And long story short, he ends up winning by, I think, 7 points. Yeah, 7 points. It was a close game. We kept doing double turns, just kicking each other in the dick. Playing against Skaven is so fucking draining. Playing with Skaven is draining. You have to keep all these extremely fragile pieces alive and get the most out of them. And at the same time, when playing against Skaven with that, you have to make sure that your opponent does not get to do anything, and that you're prepared for him to appear basically anywhere at all times. It was extremely stressful. So, good thing for me is that next game, it was the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Like, literally the same list. Let me just grab some of these. Thankful. Snipers. Flat snipers. I have the clan rats. What am I missing here? My Deceiver? Yeah, he's here. With clan rats. Magic. Guns. Yeah, this is it. I'll grab this. Put it over here. Second game. This was much quicker, but it was against the same army, right? So these lines, by the way, are to show where you're allowed to deploy. Like, the blue territory is mine, the red is his, but we have to be 9 away from each other's territory, which is not marked in these battle plans standard, so I had to do that. So, in this one was over pretty quick. I believe I started my Deceiver here. I started some... That's right, I remember now. I started my rattling guns in this here. So they're in cover. I started my clan rats here. They sticky at that and then moved in here. just sails. The big blobs just both started in underground, because they can. And I think I started my last unit of Thankful was behind this building, so he couldn't be seen. And I think I put these last guys over here. So I made a gnaw hole, as you always do, here. And he probably made one pretty similarly there. And again, exact same army. So he had Thankful, Deceiver, Rattling Guns, Clan Rats. Night Runners. I'll make them small. Extra Clan Rats. Extra Rattling Guns. This. Is that all? Oh, right. There's also the Warlock. Oh, yeah. Funny thing happened with the Warlock in the first game. So in Star Strike, in round 3, you generate 2 more objectives, besides the one in the middle. If these objectives randomly hit a terrain piece, that terrain piece becomes the objective, and anything in it takes d6 damage. So this one became a terrain, became an objective. There was nothing in it, but it's a big piece of thing. And the other one was this one over here, where his Warlock was standing, who took 6 damage and just died. So we had this super neat little straight line of objectives. Probably the neatest this mission has ever been played, because they're so close, they're in a straight line. They could be fucking anywhere on these parallels, but they weren't. They were in a like perfect little slash. Over here, they're fixed. But the thing in this mission is, if you control and score an objective 2 rounds in a row, you can no longer score it. You can hold it and prevent the opponent from doing it, but you can't control it anymore. You can only contest it. So you're like slowly grinding out resources from all these objectives, but you also have to be careful not to overdo it, because you only get points for holding 1, 2, or more than your opponent. So if you're holding 3 without having to hold 3, you will just run out of resources too quick. And in Sigmar, you have sticky objectives, meaning if you hold it at the start of your turn and you move off it, you still control it. Which, in a lot of cases, is nice. In this one, it's kind of a nightmare, because you can't really decide what you control at any given point. I'll give this a stroke real quick. There we go. That's a Warlock. Anybody can tell. So this guy brought the exact same list. I did ask if they net listed. They both said they came up with their lists on their own. I have a hard time imagining that's the case, because when I posted this list in the Tabletop Titans Discord, someone else said that they were going to a tournament where 2 other people were running the exact same thing. So this is, I'm pretty sure this is the list that is like the meta Skaven build right now. As of, I think last weekend it did pretty good. Weekend before maybe. The Honest Wargamer is to blame for this. It's fine. I didn't get a picture of my second game, but that is where I got this. The full army picture. Oh, this is for later. Poor guy. We'll get to him. Yeah. So again, I let my opponent go first. This time I was smarter about it. I hid my 2 big units on the ground. I hid these guys in terrain so they couldn't be shot. That means I think he ended up making a gnaw hole over here. He teleported some Rattling Guns over here, along with his Warlock. They then shot my Deceiver and did not kill him. He also ran some Night Runners. They started here. He ran them here. They scored an easy take the flanks. His Deceiver did the same thing. Moved down here. And that was it. So I moved these guys back so he couldn't shoot them. Over here, these guys charged. I think he put these guys here. These guys charged my Deceiver. My Deceiver teleported out of combat into combat with these guys and did a number on them. Next turn, Thankful moved over here. probably... Ooh, what happened? I ended up making a gnaw hole right here in the middle. Giselles appeared, and Giselles appeared. I think some more appeared down here. Because he had another unit of rattling guns somewhere. I forget where. I think they were just like here in the middle. With some clan rats. That's what I want to say. So I spawned my Giselles in here and here. These guys shot something. I don't remember what. Oh, I know. He tried to kill my deceiver. It failed. Almost died. Thankful. Then... yeah, Giselle spawned. Shot these guys. I believe just all the way to death. Thankful also did that. Then fought these rattling guns. Basically killed them. His Arch Warlock teleported over here after that, I believe. So yeah, at this point, Night Runners are gone. Whoops. Whoa. I clicked the wrong thing. Night Runners are gone. His rattling guns here are decimated. They're basically dead. I forget if they died completely. Anyway. My rattling guns sprung out of this cover. These guys moved up. And together they just killed his deceiver outright. Just died right away. It was incredible. I rolled a 6 for the Warpcock on these three. So they got a Rend 3. Which just goes straight through. Like, these three guys on their own hit this guy halfway. And the rattling guns handily did the rest. These guys moved up here. I think I moved these guys just straight. They moved straight forward. Thankful, I believe, did the same. He then teleported these guys. Oh, I think it was here probably. These guys. Because he did it again, right? So he teleported these guys over here. These guys were gone. He then did the same thing again. So, yeah, Warlock was here. He teleported. What the fuck did he do? Oh, his Thankful ended up going over here, charging my Deceiver. Deceiver did the thing again, teleported over here, where his Arch Warlock proceeded to kill it. It had taken shooting and from Thankful and the Rattlings. Did not kill it. It was left on 3 wounds or something. The Arch Warlock, what a hero, did 3 wounds, killed my Deceiver. So now they're free, right? So at this point, these guys stood still. These guys stood still. They shot his Thankful to shit. He dies. My Thankful moves up, runs over here, punches these guys to death. I think he like trickily moved in here. Didn't matter. I moved them over here, punched them so hard, and he ended up recycling his what's it called? Rattling guns. So they came back as a half-size unit over here. And by the end of turn 3, all his clan rats were gone. His Night Runners were gone. His Deceiver, Thankful, was gone. All he had left was Arch Warlock and 3 rattling guns. These guys were dead. And I had like 2 full units of Giselles. I still had my little unit. Still had my rattling guns. They started moving over here, scoring me points. I was just jumping my guys all around, touching things, getting points. And after turn 3, we decided to talk it out, and I ended up winning this round. Like, what was it? 40 points to 22. Big victory. Now, now we get to... like, this one will be quick. As you can see, this deployment is very different from the others. These zones aren't touching in the middle, so that means you have the entire red thing to deploy in, besides this little circle, which is 9 away from this, because you have to be 9 away from the enemy territory, right? So you have this, and you have this, like corner to deploy in, which means they are, per the design of the thing, these long edges are 22 inches apart. Where on a normal map like this, because you're only 9 away from the edge, you're 18 apart. So in my third game, I played... Damn it. I just need to grab all these guys again. I really should keep better track of this. Oops. Thankful. These guys. Little unit. Clan rats. Deceiver. Right. So for this one, I was playing not Skaven, because there were no more Skaven players there, so I could not get a mirror match again. Thank fuck. This was so easy, okay? So I played against Cruel Boys, which are these Tolkien-style lanky swamp monster hunter orcs. They're so fucking cool. I love their aesthetic, but they're very fragile because they don't really have armor. So, as you can see, this is basically my deployment, right? So, for this one I remember easily because not much happened. I deployed my clan rats here, my deceiver here. I put Jasales on the line, Jasales on the line, Thankful over here, small Jasales here, rattling guns in hiding. This is so much easier to keep track of, because there's only mine. I made a gnaw hole, like here I think. This time, okay, so, oh my god, okay, so what he did, how to best show all this? I'll make a star. I'll make some stars here. They're to illustrate, like, key pieces, right? So, he had these big units called... What's it called? Cruel Boys is the name of the army. Sludge Raker, I think, is the name of the unit. Yeah, these guys. They're fucking sick, right? So, he had them. What they do is that they take one of his key units and make it damage 2 instead of damage 1. So it doubles their output. I knew this from having watched some AOS games. So this guy was lined by a block of infantry that he can make very good. He had some archers. That's the other thing. Cruel Boys has 2 good units, right? Infantry with spears and some infantry with crossbows. And so over here are the crossbows. He also had some here. And he had some monster hunters. They're not super important to this, but might as well. So let's just say these are the monster hunters. He also had some over here. So these are in a terrain feature. They can't be shot. So what happens is, these stars are the big sludge raker beasts who can point at a infantry unit and make it much better. This is a shaman, a very good spellcaster that they have, who can just like make himself +2 to cast. Extremely efficient. The monster hunters are very good against, you guessed it, monsters. I have 2 monsters, Thankful and the Deceiver. If they're within range of a monster, if I do something called a rampage ability, they can just shut it down on a 3-up. If I'm hurt, it's on a 2-up. They can also make me fight last. So, what happened this time is, I saw him place this guy and this guy, and I was like, oh ho ho, look at that. I have a lot of shooting in range. Because if Jasales stand still, they shoot 24 inches. So, 10 Jasales in total could reach this guy. These 3 could reach this guy, and I had my rattling guns in hiding. So I went first. I built another gnaw hole, like around here, I think. I want to say it's around here. I teleported these guys in. Moved these guys up. Proceeded to blast both of these away. Turn 1. They just fucking died. So those were really expensive, big, super good monsters with 14 wounds and a 4-up armor save and no ward save. So they just fucking died right away. Then Deceiver ran over here, charged this shaman, killed him. So at this point, it's already not looking great for him. Clan Rats moved in here. Thankful teleported over here. Just to be ready next turn, like just to be a huge distraction alongside the Deceiver. His turn, he nominates, or these guys fight. They do 6 damage to my guy. My guy ignores 5 of them, so, you know, that feels bad. He then heals the last one because of his relic. He then picks a battle tactic called Cunning Approach, where he nominates an enemy, and then he has to kill it, or something like that. He points at my Deceiver. I cast a spell called Skitter Leap, which lets me teleport out of combat. I teleport over here. He moves this guy here, them here. They like advance and charge. They have another monster with them that lets them do that. His archers teleport, over here. They do they shoot for like 4 damage. I ignore 3 of them. So again, I've only taken 1. These guys shoot and kill half this rattling gun unit. He's not happy about that either, because they're very good archers. But rattling guns have like 3 wounds each. So he did 10. That means I lose 3 bases and 1 wound. His infantry then charges me here and here. I try to do my rampage to teleport. He blocks it on a 2-up because I'm wounded. I then do my heroic trait, which is scurry away, which I succeed on a 3-up, and then I just do a retreat move over here. And at this point, my opponent says, like, he just packs up and leaves. He is so not into it. At this point, I felt horribly bad, for him, because I had just effortlessly killed his 3 biggest support pieces, the wizard and the 2 sludge rager beasts. He only had like 2 units of archers, 1 unit of spear guys. I think maybe he only charged here with 1, and the others started going in here. And I overwatched them, killed some of them. It's not important. At this point, he just gave up. He quit. Like, end of turn 1, nothing, right? So I ended up scoring max points for this, because for the rest of the game I was uncontested, which, I mean, I felt bad for him, but at the same time, I totally get it, right? It's such an uphill struggle. I have these 3 big sniper units that shoot far with AP2. Most of his army has a 5-up save. It goes straight through. He just gets no save. He has no ward save. He can't hide himself. Like, the only way to keep safe is to stay inside the terrain features, but the objectives are out in the open, and you gotta go touch them. So, like, next turn, when it was my turn, I was just gonna, like, move these guys in here, probably move these guys up here, shoot these guys away, no problem. Rattling guns would then, I would make probably a thing over here. Rattling guns would teleport, they'd kill the last beast that was over here. Deceiver would charge these guys, kill them. It's like, he would have no army left after my turn 2, basically. So I fully understand that he called it quits after 30 minutes. Although it does feel bad. It's like, it's a beautiful army too. Like, I love these orcs. It's like, what you'll notice in this picture is that right over here, that was his 1 monster. And in this little gap here, there used to be a big monster in. And the wizard was right behind there. My deceiver is... You can see him from behind the stone. So at this point, I've already committed my fucking war crimes, right? His guys are standing in here to be safe. These are my Giselles. These are my rattling guns. Clan rats. He has some shooty guys over here. Super nice guy, but he was just sick of getting shat on by armies that have much better rules than his. And I get it. I understand. It does feel shitty. Yeah. So that was my tournament. I ended up placing 6th. Points-wise, I think I came in 4th, but that doesn't matter because I didn't win more games. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Good experience. The event is Feel No Shame. It's not like I need to shout it out like it always sells out. For some reason, these Feel No Shame events, whether it's for Horus Heresy or Sigmar or 40k, they sell out basically immediately. Now, what I need to do is make a list for next weekend, where there's another big event, a 3-day event, with and it's unclear whether it's gonna be real, like whether it's actually gonna happen, because there's so few signed up, and that feels terrible. But you know, list deadline is in 35 minutes. And frankly, I am tempted to just bring the same thing. Although, I mean, I should just make a duplicate of this and call it WCW AOS. This one 3-man of Giselles, I could just replace with something else. Like, I need... The sales are good because it's a little disposable unit of 3 infantry models, and they move just as fast as clan rats. They don't fight well, but neither do clan rats. They have a 4-up save, so that's something. It's like they're actually kind of tough to get rid of. But it's a small enough unit that the opponent doesn't really want to have to bother. I don't think I'm gonna replace Deceiver or Thankful. They're just so good. Thankful doing 2 spells with a +1 to cast is very nice. And he himself is also a beast in melee. Like, Bone Ripper punches very hard. And he has a great spell to turn off commands, even though it never got to work. Anyway, he's really good and tough. Deceiver is the best distraction con effects in the game, I think. Just this big, deceptively tough demon rat that can teleport into combat with something else, or if that fails, just run away for free before you even get to punch him. 20 clan rats is good. I'm wondering if I need 20 more. If I should just replace these 3 Giselles with more clan rats. Because it's more wounds to gum up the works, right? But clan rats can't really kill anything. So instead, I mean, 3 Giselles is just good. I could also replace the 3 Giselles with 2... Where are they? Doomflayers. That would leave me 50 points below 2,000, which is a tactical smart thing, because then you get a bonus CP in turn 1, which can be an auto advance on something for a free battle tactic. Very easy free battle tactic. It wouldn't be too bad with the Doomflayers. They're fast, they punch hard. They're kind of tough, because they're like 4 wounds each with a 4-up save. They're not horrible. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm talking myself into this. I'm gonna get rid of these 3 Giselles. Oh my god. Oh my... Is this gonna count as a weapons team or something? Doomflayers? No. Good. Okay. Now, the thing is, I can't get these back if they die. But the rattling guns are staying, because they're fucking incredible. They're gonna get fixed. There's no way in hell they're staying the price they are. They're insanity. It's like, oh, I didn't mention, it was in my second game with the Deceiver over here. That's where my unit of rattling guns popped off with 76 shots. Each one of those guys shoots 3d6. That's 18d6. What is the max? Just a second. What is 18 times 6? It's 108. So I shot well over the average there. Most of the time they got like 64, 65. Both me and my enemy was the same thing. So they shot 76 times and they just slaughtered that big demon thing. So yes, I think the only change I would make is speedy melee threat that can get an easy early battle tactic. So Doom Flares it is. And I think that might just be it. I think this is like... People sleep on Gisales. I think I showed everybody I played against today that Gisales can still be fucking nuts. Like, a baseline of rend, like, wounding on 3s, going to 2s with the faction buff, and rend 2 possibly going to 3 with the faction buff. Base rend 2 is incredible. Wounding on 3s is already good, but wounding on 2s is just insane. Like, you pop an all-out attack on these guys. They hit on 3s, wound on 2s, rend 2, damage 2. They will slaughter anything in the game, basically. And if they stand still, they... Oh, this is the old rule. Why hasn't this been updated? They add 6 to their range. So I'm still a big fan of Gisales. Obviously, Rattling guns are better, because they cost the same and they shoot you 65 times instead of 13. At only slightly shorter range. Just they're fucking dumb. I think a good way to fix them would be to make them not reinforceable, because what makes them strong is that you have a unit of 6, and then you stack all your buffs on that unit. If instead you were forced to have 2 units of 3, it would force you to take more regiments, and it would make you have to think about your resources, such as the warp cog buff and where to put all-out attack and stuff like that. When you just have one brick, you know exactly where your buffs are going. It's going on that brick. So just make them non-reinforceable. Easy fix. Or make them more expensive. I think, honestly, at this point, they should switch the points on the Scorchers and the Rattling guns. Scorchers got to 190. I'm not really sure why. They shoot 2d6, hit on 2s, crit 2 hits, anti-cavalry 1, which is good. Because it means they are rend 2 against cavalry, and cavalry is very good. They hit on 2s like a flamer, with crit hits 2, so 6s are an extra hit, which means they basically hit on 1s. Like, statistically, they'd have a 100% hit rate, which is obviously very good. What they also have is a character called a Galvanier, who can, once per game, point at a unit of Warpful Scorchers and say you shoot 10 times. Oh, it's on a 2-up. You can fail this. Great. Points at a unit of Warpful Scorchers, and then they just have 10 shots instead of a random 2d6, right? So that package, a reinforced unit of Scorchers with their Galvanier, is like 500... What's that? 190 times 2. That's like 380. Right? Yeah. With this guy, that's 420. Hey. It's 520 points for that package. And it does shoot hard. But 2d6 shots that are good against cavalry versus 3d6 shots that are good against every... Like, when you have 3d6 shots, it doesn't matter what you're shooting. It's fucking dying. It's so many shots. Like, although the Scorchers are hitting on 2s, like, technically you'd hit more. Because they have the same hit as a Flamer. They have the same rend as the Rattling gun. So they're pointed high because I think Games Workshop sees them as like a perfect mix of both profiles. But the Scorchers are just like 190 for 3. That's too much. Make them 170. And then maybe make Rattling guns 180. Before this, A single rattling gun was 90 points. And I'm starting to think that might not have been all the way off. But what makes them really good now is that they come in units of 3 and can be reinforced to a unit of 6, which is bonkers. And when those 6 die, they can just bring 3 back for a CP because they're infantry. And that's what Skaven do. Yeah, so G-dubs, fix rattling guns, make them more expensive, make them only takeable in units of 3. Take away their 1 rend. Do something to make them more reasonable. Because right now everybody is running 2 bricks of 6. I will not be doing that in the foreseeable future. I can't guarantee that'll always be the case. I mean, I don't have 6 more, and I don't really want to go and buy 6 more. I don't like chasing like what's good in that way. The Deceiver I got cheap from some guy who was selling off a bunch of Skaven. It's like a lot of the Skaven stuff I have, I bought before the new edition came out. Thankful I picked up right before. It's like basically they announced that new Skaven stuff was coming, and I started prepping. I just bought a shitload of Skaven stuff to get ready. So Thankful is iconic. It's like a big iconic leader model. Like no one can be blamed for taking Thankful. He's just cool. Where Verminlord Deceiver is very much a meta thing. Like they'll have to make him an epic hero so he can't take Foulhide and Scurry away, or they'll have to make him more expensive. But like, how much more expensive do you want to make a big demon that's only like Wizard 1 and not that tough, right? Lord Screech Vermin King is like 450 and nobody takes him. Same for Vizig. They're both incredible as well, but they're just too expensive. It's like, yeah. So Verminlord Deceiver, he's just too good to not take. He's too fun. Clan Rats, solid. Night Runners, I will not invest in Night Runners until they get new models. I do love Eshin. I want more Eshin stuff. But the current Night Runners, let me just show you them. Skaven Night Runner models. You'll notice that the 2 first suggested searches was STL and Proxy. That's because the current model looks like this. It's fucking ancient. They look like monkeys. They have huge hands. There's no detail whatsoever. They look like garbage. And then so there's like a bunch of different 3D printed versions you can get. I also think these look kind of bad, like too cartoony, right? I want them like, cause oh my god, the existing Eshin Deathmaster. He's so Deathmatcher. Yeah, great. He's so sick, right? Like he's slinking around. He's got the throwing star. He's got a knife. He's fucking sick. So I know they can do good Eshin, but for some reason they chose not to. I think this is the old one. He's also cool. He's like iconic, right? He's holding the 3 knives in the shape of their symbol, which is like the 3-pointed throwing star. But one of them is in his tail. Like that's fucking cool. Like this guy also has a blade on his tail. That's a poison dagger and a throwing star. He's just rad. So yeah, I beg of you, GW, more Eshin support. Because right now you have 2 characters and 1 infantry unit that looks like garbage. So yeah, Night Runners is very much a meta pick because they're dirt cheap and they move fast, right up the board right away. The Arch Warlock I'm a little perplexed on. Like, I realize that a free covering fire is great, but it's not really a free covering fire because you're paying 170 for him, and that's very expensive for a guy who's just Wizard 1, has no unique spell, no pluses, no nothing. He's just there. Although that does mean he is there to teleport around and score secondaries, right? More clan rats, good. But then, like, the 12 rattling guns, that is so sweaty. It's like, that is the most sweaty thing you can possibly do. If anything, I would go all out and bring 3 3x6. It's like, that's allowed. You'd be basically the devil for doing it, but it'd be funny. Everybody would hate you for it, though. Now, just sales have been toned down just enough that it's okay. It's okay to bring a fuckload of them. people aren't too mad because they only shoot 18. They don't get a +1 to hit by standing still anymore. You have to do a you have to pay to make them hit on 30s, right? So they're fine. So I think I'm gonna bring this Deceiver because he's fun. Clan Rats for scoring. Doom Flayers for scoring. Thankful for being another distraction Carnifex. Teleporting around, punching like a fucking idiot. And then 3 big bricks of shooting things that can all come back if they die because they're all infantry. And that is a fair and balanced rule that Skaven have. This is my list. Alright. I hope the little rundown of the event made any sense whatsoever. I'll have to work on how to do it better. Like, next time I'll probably prep a bit more, and so I made these layouts during the week, and then I was thinking I wanted to do this tomorrow, but then I remembered I have like family dinner and then a hangout watching a movie, so it's no time for it. And on Tuesday I'll have forgotten all of it. So I could just kind of had to rush out and do it now. Anyway, yeah. Anybody watching this, thank you very much. I might be back doing another painting stream. I'm happy to report that my painting stream had 100% less technical hiccups than Calliope Mori's, which is to say I had none and she had a million because her camera kept freezing. I cannot believe that a company like HoloLive with like world-class VTuber talent, 3 million followers just for Mori, surely they have money enough to get these people some decent equipment, right? It's like the camera I was using yesterday costs the same as a brand new iPhone. It's pricey, but it's not that pricey, right? And then you pick up like an ATEM Mini from Black Magic. That's like another, what would that be? It's like $1,000. Yeah, about 1,000, I think. $1,000 for that, 2,000 for the camera. It's like you spend $5,000 and you'll have a world-class camera setup for these entertainers who make content for your company. It's like, just do that. Just give them that. Give them a good camera. Give them a good video mixer that's easy to work. Why the fuck is it so difficult for you? You're a huge company. Anyway, it makes me upset that Mori was like super excited about painting Space Marines. Like, you can hear the childlike wonder in her voice when she starts dry brushing, and it's so refreshing. It's very fun. Everybody should go watch that recorded stream. It's very funny to listen to because she's so excited. And then you should watch my stream where I actually painted the units that ended up winning me 2 games. Anyway, thank you for watching this, if you did, all the way through. And I'll see you around.